Hi everyone, we're going to work on this project. We've learned a lot about drafting and the basics of AutoCAD. I know we still have some stuff to go over based on feedback, and what I know we need to move forward with is one of the things that I need to get to is text. Showing you guys how to do text in plan. Some of you I've seen have already known how to do it, but we'll have that following up after spring break. Then we're also going to go into how to create blocks, as that's extremely helpful. And then that's how you can come up with these cool legends or palettes to help speed up your process. And then finally, it's going to be, I'm going to also review more about XREFs. I know they are confusing, and I've received the feedback, and so we're going to go over that some more. But I just wanted to do some projects for you guys over the next couple weeks here that you guys can practice and fine tune your drafting and see what you guys need help with, so we can have that feedback. And so what I've done here was, this was a project that we've worked on. So the client sent over this line work. So it's a new house, and then right here is the driveway, garage, front door, and then they have like a little pool, like spa here, more grass. And so the landscape architect, they did all this hardscape design, all the line work. So you can see they have the concrete lines in here. And so this will give you guys a good, in the landscape industry, of what goes into creating these base files and what clients like to see. So I know it can look a little intense, but this actually goes pretty quickly when you start dealing with offsets, and you can use hatching and so on and so forth to accomplish these. So just so you guys know, the green is the turf areas, and then this purple hatch here throughout the property, those are the shrub areas. So now the purpose for this assignment, what I want you guys to do, I had some good feedback that people like tracing. So this would be a good thing for you guys to, what the assignment is going to be is that you're going to trace over this, basically replicate it, and then turn it in. So it's going to be, if you can use as many of the tools that you've learned to accomplish this, instead of just drawing each line, you can use offsets, commands, and so on and so forth. Everything should be in polylines. My recommendation is not using splines or lines. They should be all polylines. So then that way you can get accurate hatchings for all these areas. And then you will want to recreate the hatches on top of this block. And then we're going to go into type in layer, Layer. Oops, if I type it right. And then one of the parts of your assignments is you need to create at least 3 layers. And you can name them whatever you want, call them whatever you want, but they should be different colors, different line types, different line weights. They shouldn't just all be continuous and default line weight and the same color. So just a little refresher, I'm going to click the new layer button. Comes up with the new layer. I'm going to call all your new layers should be HORT 106 space dash space, and then I'm going to call this hardscape. but all you need is the first part, the Hort 106 space dash space, and then whatever you want to name it. So that is the name of it. I want it to be, instead of blue, I want it to be cyan. Instead of continuous, I am going to do, if I don't like what's in here, or if you don't, well, it's going to be the same file, so you're going to have at least these in here, but you can click load, and I want a, where is it? A dashed line. And so I can select dash, click OK. And then I want this to be a little thicker. I'm going to do a 0.5. And then I'm going to double click. Now you see the arrow right here, the little check. So that's the active layer, which you can verify up here. Now it says Hort 106. Here it says Hort 106. And then over here is my line weight display. So I'm going to make sure it's on. And then I'm going to give you a little example. So let's say I'm going to start tracing this. So that became that outer perimeter that we just traced. Now I'm going to do an offset. So O for offset. And I'm going to pick my first point and my second point. And select the line, drag it to the direction. Now I'm going to use the trim command, TR for trim. And now, instead of retracing it, now I've created all that in there. And then come through and trace this. If you see in here, this is some sloppy CAD work that I actually received from the client. So if they're really close to two lines on top of each other, you don't have to draw two lines. We're not getting that particular. It's only if they're a farther distance apart. So here I could actually go further. I could do this whole thing and then offset from here, offset, and then offset again. So that created those. So now I'm here. Now I'm going to do C for circle, find the center point, snap it to the end. That created that. I could do my little rectangle. Click in the upper corner. Click in the kitty corner of that. And then I could come through here. And then these will go quick because now I drew that polyline. Now I'm gonna offset it. And then the trick is, should be able to copy both of those. Copy at the base point here. Now I'm just gonna paste, paste, paste. Now you can see they're close enough. So I just need to trim the excess. I haven't left the command because it's still that same line. And then let's see. So one thing I can tell you is I could trace over this. It appears though that because it's not on snapping, I don't think this is line work. I think they actually did a hatch. So one thing is where you have to be careful on hatching is if these are all separate polylines right now. They're not connected, they're not closed. So if you went to hatch it, if anything didn't quite close in between, that can really cause a problem in your drawing, as some of you've experienced. So there's a couple solutions. If you just want to replicate it, we could quickly just draw it. And I could do it for the rest of it. So that's one option. Or the other option is that I can come through sometimes on a different layer, or you could do it on the same layer. I often use a non-plot if I'm going to do this. Close it. So now I've traced over it again with a closed polyline. So then now when I'm going to select the closed part, now I've hatched it. You can see I have my cumulative area. And then for the actual hatch, it is going to be that. And then, which is the Ansel 1 or 37. And then I'm going to scale that up. I'm going to kind of do it until trial by error. Just keep making it bigger. 400, 500, 600, 550, 575, 595, nope, 585, 580. Ooh, that's pretty close. 579. Ooh. Maybe bigger. 583. 590 was too big. 600. 610. So 5. Still kind of small. 625. 635. Wow. I still really need to go. I'm not impressing you guys right now, am I? I think that's too big. So it's somewhere in that realm. It doesn't have to be exact. If you use this pattern, I'm not going to grade you down on it. But so now you can see we have basically accomplished it. If I really wanted to cheat, I could go in here. Let's see this. Oh, they hatched the whole thing, so then that's why. And it's at a scale of 700. So if I go in, if I put it at 700,